Ooh, yeah! Hi guys, welcome to Nerd Bites, and this is going to be my review for Batman Arkham Knight. So I've finally finished Arkham Knight. I haven't completed it 100% yet, but I've completed the main bulk of the story. I heard obviously it's a little bit extra once you complete it 100%, which I haven't got to yet, but for the rest of the game I can review it. I'm doing it on the PS4 of course. Before we begin, there will be a few spoilers, not loads, but there will be a couple of main ones, so if you haven't played the game yet, go and play it, come back, and then you can look at my review. Batman Arkham Knight, I mean, if there's ever a game that personifies the meaning of the words The Batman, it's this game. It was so good, and previously I thought there was no way that it could beat Arkham City, which was still my favourite Arkham game. But I was wrong. I thought this was the definitive chapter of the Arkham storyline. I think that it was the best game they've done. It was an absolutely incredible story. It was an incredible graphics, incredible moves. Everything you can put down was absolutely done flawlessly. You've still got all the original stuff you had before with your moves, but you've got added new things as well that you add on with your rope launcher thing. You can like go up and then target another area and go off again. You can make it faster and quicker, so you're off into the air really quick as well. You've got new gadgets here and there as well. Your fighting styles, there's new combos, there's new moves. And then of course, obviously one of the biggest things in there is the Batmobile. Finally we got to play the Batmobile. They teased it a couple of times in other games, but you never really got to play it, but finally they got to play it, and it did not disappoint. I have heard from other people that they didn't like it that much, but for me personally, I thought it was perfect. I thought the Batmobile was awesome. It put it through the game as well. It wasn't just a little bit of an added luxury. It was something that you had to use through the game quite a lot and everything, different missions. It was good. It helped cater towards the story and towards your missions. And I also think the way they used it, we could just eject out of it and glide, so it didn't take anything away from gliding around the city. So I don't think it took away from anything. The hybrid thing with the tank was epic as well, and the fact that yes, it's a little bit out of character to have Batman have a tank, because you think, I'm sure he's going to be killing them. But no, all the drones and tanks and everything he takes on are all unmanned. Every time that he knocks into a car, it just deactivates it. Every time he knocks into a person, they get an electric shock and pass out. So, and every time he fires bullets, they're rubber bullets as well. It's brilliant. The way they've done it is, yes, you can have a really aggressive Batmobile, but not kill anyone, and it was good. It was a good way of getting through that and being able to enjoy both sides of it. The basic gist of the story is Scarecrow. He's taken over, he's going to be injecting this whole fear gas toxin throughout the entirety of Gotham, kind of like the Batman Begins film, to be perfectly honest, but I think on a grander scale, to be honest. And he's your main foe, but also you get introduced to the Arkham Knight, which is what the game's named after. As time goes on, you start getting little tidbits of who the character might be. Now, I had a good suspicion of who it may be from the start, and I ended up being right. I was correct in thinking who I thought it was, but it was good at the start. The character's like, he knows you pretty well, he calls you old man, he knows how you think, how you work, everything, and that was when my speculation started. But a little bit further around the game, I think the only thing that was a little bit of downside of this game was the fact that a little bit further in, it became painfully obvious who it was bound to be for the Arkham Knight. Early on you get subjected to the fear toxin from Scarecrow, and through that they have found a way to bring Joker back so awesomely. I mean, I honestly didn't think the Joker was going to be in this, but finding out that he was, and the way they've done it, he's dead. He's definitely dead. He died at the end of Arkham City. The very first thing you do in this game is burn him alive inside the crematorium, and then after that you think, well, that's it then, Joker's gone. Then you're subjected to the fear toxin, and your hallucination that you have throughout the entire game is that the Joker is there talking to you at random moments. Like, he'll appear on a rooftop, he'll appear down in the sewer, wherever you are, inside the vents as well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, every now and then the Joker character will pop up, and again Mark Hamill just does it with absolute perfection, does the Joker so much justice, and just using it throughout the entire game, and helping it tie up at the end of the game as well, was just brilliant. It was such a good idea, and it was a really good way to finally say goodbye to the Joker character, as well as saying goodbye to the Batman character, because you take them hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. The mechanics, again, were perfect. All the beat-em-ups, all the combos, everything you did, your gadgets, all this kind of stuff, they all came into the Batmobile as well, so you could upgrade that. The upgrade list was a lot more simplified in the way you could do it, just like it was easy to work with. And also your side missions as well, I find. I felt like them having it in big one-round spectrum, I think the way they displayed it enticed you to do more side missions and stuff, because I think with the other games where it was lacking is that the way it was laid out, kind of like, I'm not really that bothered about it, but with this it's kind of like, right, I'm going to do that next, I'm going to do that next, and it gives you a bar of how far you're going up as you're completing stuff. Just a good way to do it, and I find myself doing a lot more missions that way. Having like Two-Face as a side mission, Penguin as a side mission, Riddler as a side mission, and then adding in your favourite characters like Robin, Nightwing and Catwoman to double team with them against these guys was just a brilliant way of bringing all these characters in but not overcrowding it. It was only the side missions you used it, and it was a really fun way of doing it and being able to play these other characters, but not for a long amount of time. You never took away from the Batman. I mean, at some point, Scarecrow succeeds in what he's doing to a point. He injects the fear toxin, and the whole lower level of Gotham is completely covered in this cloud, and if you go down in there without going into your Batmobile, you will be subjected to it. And it was just an awesome way to see. It's like halfway through the game you can't go down to the ground level because of this cloud. Eventually you have to, because you have to sort out your Batmobile so you can get it fully operational again. But it was just an awesome way, and again when you hallucinate and the Joker's there and all that kind of stuff, it was a really good sequence. Poison Ivy helps you out a lot as well. I mean, with their plants and that kind of stuff, you use like a supersonic thing to get them growing or whatever. Sonar, I think it was. Get them to grow to help and everything. And, you know, spoiler alert, she dies. Poison Ivy dies. I did not. That was probably one of the biggest shocks for me, because I didn't expect that to happen at all. Didn't give any of that away in the trailers. I think that was a cool way for her to go out. She finally did, you know, something good to help you. And it's a shame, really, because it was a really cool character. The final, like, yeah, but you have quite a few fights with Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight, and every single time I'm doing them, I'm thinking, right, this has got to be the end of the game, because it was that epic. It was so epic the way they did every single big fight with them. The final fight with Arkham Knight, before you find out who he was a little bit tricky here and there. You had to like run through all these sewers as the Batmobile, and how he was chasing you with this drill thing, which was a bit annoying, really. But then you have a little bit of a snipe off with him and that kind of stuff. But so obviously, spoiler alert: the Arkham Knight is Jason Todd, the second Robin, which you think is dead. You get a little bit of it earlier on in the game where Joker, he's hallucinating, and he shows you the whole thing of when he kills Robin, and then you find out that he's not dead, he is the Arkham Knight, and it's just a really good, awesome storyline, I think, even though you find out obviously before and you figure it out yourself. I figured it out quite soon, but it was a good storyline, it was a good way of bringing back that character as well. The final battle with Scarecrow wasn't really a final battle. You do stuff building up to it. When it actually comes to it, he takes you back to Arkham. You surrender to him, and then you go through this massive hallucinogenic state when he injects you with more fear toxin. Then you become the Joker in this hallucination. You're gunning down Batman statues. Before you know it, Batman attacks you. Then you lock Joker away and say, "You're gone. I'm not afraid of you." And then you find out what Joker's afraid of. He's afraid of being forgotten. And this is the great thing. He locks him away in his subconscious and puts him away, and Batman wins. He wins with Joker over his subconscious. That's how awesome Batman is. And then you come back to the real world, he says to Scarecrow, "I'm not scared of you," and then the whole thing ends there. It's a really good way to end it all. It was a cool way to do it, and the fact that everybody now knows who Batman is, because he does a live feed and everyone figures out who Batman is, which again I know would lead on to the final 100% completion, which I haven't yet to get to, so don't ruin it for me. But it was a cool end to the story. It was a really good way of, yes, having Joker in there, but also having Scarecrow as your bad guy at the end as well. It was a good way of tying it all in together. The graphics on this, seriously, it was immense. It was so beautiful, so detailed, so textured. It was unreal. Even when you're gliding through and all the rain is rippling off your cowl, it's incredible. Just the detail that they put into this just really makes me appreciate the next gen console. I mean, again, I could be being biased, but Christ, it was awesome. Batman Arkham Knight was so damn good. I honestly thought it was one of the best games I've ever played, definitely the best Batman game I've ever played, and there was no argument whatsoever that I am definitely going to give this 5 stars. So, Arkham Knight, have you played it yet? Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments, or you can send me an email. You can also find me in the various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and moviepilot.com. Just type in Nerd Bites anywhere and I'm sure you'll find me. And of course, keep it nerdy.